All right, it's 6 o'clock. Time to call the meeting to order. I'd like you all to rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Dr. March?
Here.
Trustee Bowden? Trustee Hudson?
Here.
Trustee Jones? Trustee Marevka?
Here.
Trustee Sluse?
Here.
Trustee Sturba?
Here.
All right, public comments. There's none. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Only two items on the consent agenda, the minutes from the October 24th, 2022 meeting and the payroll accounts payable. And let me get you those numbers. Okay, so payroll for the pay period ending 10/29, total of $69,220.04. Accounts payable for the pay period ending November 11th, out of the general fund, $77,246.18. Out of the building permit escrow fund, $3,650. The motor fuel tax fund, $10,663.57. And from the business development district fund, $5,545.87 for a grand total of $97,105.62. Are there either of those items, any trustees want to remove either of those items from the consent agenda?
I don't want to remove it, but under item C, administrator, it says December 1st was the blood drive, and it was November 1st. That's
Okay.
the only thing.
Make that correction.
Other than that, I move to accept the consent agenda.
Is there a
Second.
Moved by trustee Marevka, second by trustee Sluse.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Marevka?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
All right, moving on to staff and committee reports. I don't see Bob here at Public Works. Did he give you a report?
No, typically we try to have it for the second
Yeah.
meeting of the month,
Okay. All
if that's
right.
okay with you guys.
Yep. Angie, you got something?
Nothing major new, just we're wrapping up the water tower, so that should be up and running this week, so.
Looks
They
nice.
did-
Yep,
yeah,
looks really
yeah,
good.
It did turn out really nice,
So how long does it take for them to like get it going?
yeah, long,
Just fill it up and
Yeah.
that's it?
yeah.
And then are they gonna do any restoration, I mean, to that yard? I mean, because they kind of chewed that up pretty good.
Okay, I can check on that, you know what, I only saw a picture of the water tower from them, so I can check
I
on,
mean, once they move, they still
Sure.
have a bunch of junk there.
Yeah.
Once they move it all out, hopefully they'll
yeah.
restore that.
Yeah, if there was damage done to the property and it needs to be restored, it will be restored, I
Uh-huh.
just, that hasn't been brought to my attention, so, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, it did turn out nice, so thanks for your patience, it took a little bit longer than we expected, so,
Yeah, that's really good. Thank you.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
And while you're there, do you want to report on the meeting that you guys had? Were you here at that meeting with
Yeah,
Public Works and Troy and,
yep, and Amy and
yeah,
we had our village engineer. So what we did is we went through our, kind of our 5-year plan and what we had on our capital plan. And then we talked with Public Works about upcoming projects that the village had and the village engineer as well. Just to see if there was like any overlap or if there was any projects that, you know, we had further down the pipeline or vice versa, just so we weren't double doing anything or if there was anything for us to partner on. So there's a couple follow-up items that I think that came up from it, but it's always good kind of for us to work together and know if there's stuff coming up, like I know you guys are doing a lot of work next year, and if that's gonna happen and we have any planned projects, that we can work together, so we're not digging up a newly paved road or, you know, ideally if they can align, then that's great, so.
Okay.
And then we have some follow-up and we'll continue to stay in touch, because I know you guys are doing a lot over the next few years, so we'll continue to do these kind of meetings every once in a while, so.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I think we have any other committee reports. My comments, I just want to give everybody an update on the police chief search. We had, I believe it was 22 applicants. Of those, we narrowed it down to 7 people just from the review of their resumes. On Friday, we will be doing an assessment interview, basically. So our search firm, they have 3 chiefs that will be doing the interviewing each of those 7 candidates throughout the day. I'm going to be sitting in on that. And then next Monday, I want to schedule a special board meeting where we're going to hear the report from that assessment. And they'll probably have, report probably on the top 3 candidates or so, and then we'll decide, how we want to proceed, maybe set up interviews with the board and that type of thing, so. Okay. Amy, do you want to give us kind of the rough schedule for the budget process upcoming at all, or are you prepared to do that this time, or aren't we going to have a
Yeah.
meeting in December?
We've got the schedule created, so I'll send that out to everybody.
Okay,
We did wanna start in December, cause we wanna
Yeah.
start a little bit earlier,
right.
so I'll send that out tomorrow.
So probably the meeting, the only board meeting that we're gonna have in December, part of that meeting, I think we're gonna have just a budget workshop and kind of look back at how this year is going and, just kind of come up with a plan for next year.
Yeah, and most
Right.
of we won't have as many AOC meetings as we did last year. At least that's not what the schedule is dictating at this point, and then we'll have most of our discussions at the board meetings, on regular board meeting nights.
Okay.
I'll send that out tomorrow.
As an update on 206 North Second Street, last meeting we directed our administrator to start getting proposals for demolition. She did do that. She only got one bid back, is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, so, is that gonna be on the next board meeting? Good, so on the next agenda, we'll be, approving that, okay? I talked to trustee Marevka. I want the downtown committee to meet, within the next, couple of weeks, along with, Troy, our village engineer. I want you guys to come up with a plan for who we're gonna use for landscape architect and how that's gonna dovetail with what Robinson is doing. Okay. Update on the Railroad Street project. They were out there today, finally got back started on that. We did have a delay. They found some contaminated soil out there that, which just means instead of just dumping the stuff that they're excavating on somebody's farm field, we've got to pay to take it to a landfill. So, but the project is moving forward again, and hopefully, if the weather stays halfway decent, we can get that finished before too long. A couple of events coming up. Christmas tree lighting is this Saturday from 4 to 5:30. So that was a fun event last year, so if you can make it up there, that would be great. I know Christmas in the Village has a meeting, kind of your last wrap-up, your meeting on Wednesday, right?
Yep. 16.
So that is coming up quickly. That's Saturday, December 10th. I think that's about it for my comments. No old business. Moving on to new business. This is ordinance 22-26. This is an ordinance authorizing the issuance of general obligation bonds alternative revenue source, Series 2022 of the Village of Peatone, Will County, Illinois, in an aggregate principal amount of not to exceed $3.1 million for the purpose of financing the costs of certain capital projects within the village and paying for costs related thereto, and providing for the levy of a direct annual tax sufficient to pay the principal of an interest on the said bonds. So this is kind of continuing the process of getting us in position to issue these bonds. Tonight, the ordinance that we're going to pass just has the parameters of the bonds. This is kind of given permission to our bond agent to go out and actually get, what it's going to cost us to do this. So approving this just kind of gives them the authority to go ahead and get what the costs are going to be, and then we'll have to, once we know that, then we'll make the final decision whether we're going to issue the bonds or not. Any questions on any of that? I know it's a long document there, but Amy and myself and our bond counsel, and also who else is involved? Well, obviously our attorneys.
Our municipal advisors.
Our municipal advisors. So we've got a really good team put together. We explored the possibility of just using our cash to do this because the interest rates have gone up a little bit. But I think that it's still a better deal for the village to issue the bonds. What we may do is use our cash to pay the interest the first couple of years because we're depending on the tax increment to pay for this, and until the travel center is built and then assessed, there's about a 2-year lag before we actually see any revenue from that. So initially, we were gonna roll those costs of those first couple of years into the cost of the bonds, but I think it'll be cheaper for the village in the long run if we pay those interests for the first couple of years directly from our cash, and that's money that we will be able to recover from TIF funds in the future, but it might keep our borrowing costs lower because we don't have to roll that interest into the total amount, so. Any questions at all on that?
On that paper I just passed out to you, those were the minutes from the public hearing we had at the previous meeting. So those are just part of this ordinance. So it wasn't filled out in the packet you got, so I wanted to make sure you got the actual minutes.
If there's no discussion, entertain a motion to approve the ordinance. It would be 2226.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Moved by trustee Hudson, second by trustee Sluse.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Maravka,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Sturba.
Yes.
Item B, motion to purchase 2013 Ford Explorer for police use from Taylor Ford of Manteno for $16,767.24. So this is a lightly used Ford Explorer that the Manteno Police Department didn't have a use for anymore, and they, I guess through the grapevine, contacted our chief, and he took a look at it, and he thinks that our department can make use of it, and considering that it's been very difficult to get new vehicles, this may help us get through the next couple of years until supply becomes normal again. So entertain a motion to purchase that vehicle.
I'll motion it.
Second.
Moved by trustee Maravka, second by trustee Sturba.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Maravka,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Sturba.
Yes.
All right. Next item on the agenda. Okay, so, next item on the agenda is motion to accept resignation of Joseph Mort, serving as a part-time patrolman in the police department. And he wrote a letter, I'm writing for you, I wish to resign from Peatone Police Department effective November 30th, 2022. My resignation is not in any way a critique of the police department or the village, however, my full-time career at the Will County Sheriff's Office requires my full attention. I want to thank everyone at the department for many years spent educating me, helping me excel in law enforcement. My time at the department will always be treasured. Thank you, Sergeant Joseph Mort. Entertain a motion to accept the resignation.
Motion?
Second.
Moved by trustee Marevka, second by trustee Sturba.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Marevka,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Sturba.
Yes.
Item D is a motion to hire Landon Marevka for a part-time seasonal position in Public Works Department starting November 15th, 2022. Obviously, we're gonna ask trustee Marevka to recuse herself, because that's her son. So every year, we try to hire somebody to help out with the snow plowing duties. This is who our Public Works Department had recommended. Entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Sluse, second by trustee Sturba.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Marevka, oh,
I'm abstaining.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
and trustee Sturba,
Yes. Mayor votes.
and mayor.
Yes.
Thanks, Jim.
Item E is a motion to approve updates to the village clerk job description. So, this was last updated 1998, so it was time to refresh this. That position has changed quite a bit. It used to be a collector position as well, when we were collecting, still collecting money for water and sewer and garbage and all that stuff. So, quite a few changes to the job description, but most of the stuff that was taken out of there was the village collector's duties. So, any comments on any of that at all? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the updates to the
I'll make a motion.
job description. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by trustee Hudson, second by trustee Sturba.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Marevka,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Sturba,
Yes.
Do you have that resolution for the clerk? The next item is a resolution to appoint Stacy Harwell as the village clerk effective December 1st, 2022. Yeah, let me, get that resolution up here. So as she's looking up that resolution, so we've been without a clerk, we just have our acting clerk the last few months. We did advertise for the position, but we found somebody right here in the hall to do it. Stacy has many years of experience. She kind of knows how the village hall works, so we asked her to take on this position. The plan is to then hire another part-time clerical person to take over some of her duties. Things like inputting of building permits and, just dealing with residents as they come in with questions. So, we did have, do you have that pulled up there?
Mm-mm.
Okay, here it is.
My email is
I got
updating.
it. Okay, so this is resolution 2022 R14, a resolution authorizing the appointment of Stacy Harwell as village clerk effective December 1st, 2022. Whereas the village of Peatone is an Illinois municipal corporation situated in Will County, and whereas Stacy Harwell is a longtime employee of the village performing a number of roles and duties on behalf of the village. Whereas the village president has submitted the appointment of Stacy Harwell as has submitted the appointment of Stacy Hartwell as village clerk to the Board of Trustees of the Village of Peatone for their advice and consent. And whereas the Board of Trustees have determined that it is their best interest of the village that Stacy Hartwell be appointed village clerk as provided for in section 31.05 of the Peatone Village Code. Now therefore be it resolved by the President and Board of Trustees of the Village of Peatone, Will County, Illinois, that Stacy Hartwell is appointed village clerk of the Village of Peatone effective December 1st, 2022. Is there a motion to approve that?
Yep, motion to approve. Second.
Moved by trustee Hudson, second by trustee Sturba.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Maravka?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Item G is motion to approve business registration for Hanson's Dugout, previously known as Peatone Bowl. There is a business registration application in your packet. So, Mr. Hanson,
Yeah.
so do I understand, so you haven't closed yet on the?
We haven't closed on the property yet, closed on the business, but not on the
On the
property.
business, okay, okay.
The property was supposed to close today, but there's something wrong with like the survey or something like that.
Okay, okay. So is that an issue that he doesn't own the building yet
No, he owns the business, so I think you can go forward with it if you
with the
wish.
registration? Okay,
The question is the liquor licenses won't be able to be approved then today for the business too. Would it?
No.
no, it's not on the, it'll have to be the next meeting.
Okay, and you're having a special meeting next week? Or-
Yes, but, I mean, I don't know, usually.
Well, you
usually
can, you could put it on a special meeting agenda, but you have to make sure that the notice of the special meeting states the purpose of the special meeting and has the agenda attached. And in this case, if you were going to add approval of a liquor license, that would have to be in the notice of the special meeting and on the agenda that's attached to that notice. Technically, yes, you can do that, as
Okay.
long as it's out 48 hours in advance of the meeting.
Okay. So when you
I
say
guess-
the notice, we just have, that just has to be posted?
Yes.
48 hours, okay.
Correct.
With the
Post-
agenda on there?
With the agenda and the purpose of the special meeting,
Yeah,
which now there'll be two,
okay,
needs to be stated in the notice, and then on the agenda, the special meeting, it would be
Okay.
there too. In that case, you could proceed.
okay.
And I guess why I'm asking is because I can't apply for Illinois State until you have the village liquor license.
Okay.
Is the application in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. As long as they've got the
Yeah.
application for the liquor license, yes, can be reviewed.
So is that posted as one special meeting?
Yes.
With both things?
One special meeting
Okay.
with both items on the agenda.
Okay. Any
I'll check it with Amy if you want me to. We'll post it.
questions? Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the business registration for Hanson's Dugout.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Sluse, second by trustee Maravka.
Trustee Hudson?
Yes.
Trustee Maravka?
Yes.
Trustee Sluse?
Yes.
Trustee Sturba?
Yes.
Item H, motion to approve payout number 2 to Iroquois Paving Corp. Invoice number 2204702-02 in the amount of $14,379.23 for work on Garfield Mill and Penny Street.
Motion? Second?
Before we vote, I just want to say, I love that they got rid of that bump on Blaine. I don't know if we have talked about that at a board meeting, but I want to thank Troy and Public Works and Iroquois for
Yes.
making that happen. That was something that bothered me for years and years, so. All right,
Another good thing is this project came in under the awarded amount. We saved like 13,500 on what it was, so.
Good.
So it's good to note that sometimes when the
Yeah.
project comes in under budget.
yes,
Very
sure.
good.
All right. I'm sorry, who,
Hudson Sturba.
okay. Motion by Hudson, second by Sturba.
Trustee Hudson,
Yes.
trustee Marevka,
Yes.
trustee Sluse,
Yes.
trustee Sturba.
Yes.
Troy, I didn't mean to skip over you. Came out here, what, do you have anything to report besides?
No, not really. You reported on the Railroad Street update. Yeah.
Okay.
The, kind of the schedule going forward is today they took off the asphalt and the stone. So they were gonna do the layout tomorrow, and they plan to do earth excavation on Wednesday. And then I think after that, it's, next week, they should get started with the concrete. So,
Okay. And how long can you pour concrete? I mean,
there are requirements for cold weather. We might have to put some extras in the mix to try to keep it, depending on the temperatures. We're actually looking into that today.
okay,
But yeah, you could do it in the cold, but it just depends how cold it gets and.
well, just as long as it's done properly.
Yes.
All right, questions of the press?
No, I will, I have a couple of questions regarding the whole bond thing, but I'll email those to you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
And anything else from the board? That's good, so we'll meet next Monday at the same time, 6 PM, and we'll post that and send out packets beforehand, okay? Great, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Moved by trustee Marevka, second by trustee Sluse, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, have a good week.
I changed mine.
Okay.
Same note.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's too many,
Yeah.
even the parents are.
Right.
Congratulations, and I'm like,
No.
gee, here was
I will.
I was.